Welcome to the Road Less Traveled, where I talk about every topic that has ever roamed my mind and has led me to this very moment today. Please join me. Have you ever heard of that saying, keep your thoughts to yourself, or think before you speak? And some people grow up and never do those things because they think someone is trying to tell them what to do. Well, it all started with their parents, but we're not getting into that today. It's actually not that at all when those parents said that to us. What they really meant by that is don't give your opinions unless someone asks you to. But that's not all I'm going to talk about today. What happens when holding on to your opinions, knowledge, and wisdom from the wrong crowd happens more often? Did you know that people hate it when someone does not share their opinion? Which is very contradictory to the original belief that we should keep our opinions to ourselves. You know how to easily spot who those people are? They are the ones who get overly aggressive in tone. They spiral even because you haven't said nothing and they need you to say something. They need you to have a rebuttal or a counter argument when we as in me and you, we don't like to argue or debate. This is when silence is the deadliest weapon you could have, because not only are you in control of yourself, but you win in every argument. No energy from you was given, and you are operating peacefully in your highest authority. Sometimes this can turn into the complete zone out, which I do a lot of. It is the period after you silence your own thoughts and tune out the noise. It's a form of a connection to your inner home because now you need protection from anything threatening or inviting you in to act a different way than you appear. Our natural state of fight or flight response. You are in a battle that you win automatically by saying nothing. And that hurts the ego because then every word the other person said was useless. And you are simultaneously moving into a deep state of peace by silencing all the noise. It is so powerful that you will find other parties not truly involved trying to meet your gaze. I have had this happen to me many times in so many situations, and I am so glad that things just do not bother me like they would easily bother someone else. When no one else is around and the world is silenced by the darkness that covers the sky, you understand that you are the last one left. You are the first person you know when you wake up, and you are the last person you recognize when you go to sleep. There's only so much power we give other people in conversations. But we should never give people power over our emotions and how we respond to something. Having emotional control means that you find other ways to be on the battlefield. You will find more efficient and effective ways with limited scarring. There is no reason you should have to work harder to cast people out when you could just not let them in. This brings me to my next point. Silence ensures that your motives in your inner world are protected. Your plans are sacred. They should be important to you, so much so that you just don't feel it's necessary to share. People call this being secretive, and I've been called this a few times. But your path originally starts with you, and everyone else can choose to tag along. There is this caution we must take for people who know of our true essence, but are afraid that if we act that way, that they will lose their foundation. People want to be valued and useful. If they don't have the attention on them, then this could get really ugly. Imagine this. You have a friend with who you always talk about your issues with, and their main goal is to help you overcome them. This is how this friend is useful. Then all of a sudden, you gain just as much wisdom to push through that you no longer need the guidance from the friend as much as you did before. And now they don't feel useful. I mean, that hurts, right? You have now pushed through and started a big corporation because you feel more empowered than you ever did. The friend gets upset because you are not limited anymore. So they have no reason to be of use because the original dynamic of the relationship was actually a character development type of contract and not really a friendship built on valuing the other person's strengths. But because you were not understanding of that concept, you only knew of them as a friend who used to support you. With that knowledge, you now have to find a real friend, as they say. One who will support you and also value you at the same time. The moral of this story is to understand that in order to have a true friend, they need to support and value you because you are forever changing. If they don't feel like they rocking with you anymore and you not rocking with them, then it's time to let them go, okay? Just saying. My recommendation is that if people need eyes on them all the time, then they have just that. But you don't need to join in and give them the attention they need because they already have it. You don't need to share every milestone in your life. Intuitively, you will know who to trust with the information that you have regarding your travels. But you have to walk through to get to the other side. You have to encounter all of those people first before you attract what you really need. Some book recommendations that could start you on your journey of silence were recommended by Reddit users, and I thought I might share some I've gathered after I read a few summaries from users. But there is one author I have read into before during my early days practicing meditative techniques, so that's nice. We have The Power of Silence by Carlos Castaneda. Then we have Meditations by Marcus, I don't know his last name. Then we have Peace is Every Step by, I don't want to butcher the name, but he's a peace activist and has written many books on self-development and other touching subjects. There are so many to choose from, so I think you'll be able to find this author. The one I read a while back was called The Miracles of Mindfulness. I also recommend that you try some meditative techniques if you are into that, because most of these books are known as the top of the Power of Silence book chain, and they're heavily talked about. Do not hesitate to read into spiritual techniques that make you feel more grounded and into your power, because some of these books really dive in deep to mindfulness, so definitely try that out. It is a great experience to read into Stoicism, as there are many different point of views from philosophers before us about what we should do and what we should not do, and what we should give our attention to and what we should not give our attention to, which helps further this idea about the power of silence. Finally, with your development of emotional intelligence, you will understand that you have all the power to control any outcome in your favor. You also will note that silence does not mean that your words go unheard, but that your silence is just as valuable as what you choose to say. I want to leave you with a quote that says, "Solitude makes true speech possible and personal. If I am not in touch with my own belovedness, then I cannot touch the sacredness of others. If I am estranged from myself, I am likewise a stranger to others." By Brennan Manning. You know what time it is. It takes someone willing. I'll catch you in the next one.